Okay, so welcome to the welcome to the 21st episode of the Let's Discuss Gaming Podcast. I am Triple J. Joining me is my co-host, Dr. Games 101.
Good afternoon.
And we don't have, this is going to be more of a, if you're going to be listening to this on the audio replay, you're not really going to miss anything like you would some weeks. We don't have any videos we don't have any videos to watch. So this is basically going to be, whether you join us live or listen to us later, you're basically not going to be missing anything.
It's a straight up talk, guys.
Right, but we do have a bunch of stories. And I guess the first one, it's an opinion question. Dr. Games 101, do any of your video games have a sentimental value that you would have to be, dirt poor before you got rid of?
I would say my Time Crisis collection. From Time Crisis 1, 2, Project Titan, 3, and if I ever get these other ones, Time Crisis 4 and 5. So.
Time Crisis, wasn't that like a gun? Wasn't that like a gun game where you could also use a gun?
Yes, and the main characters are from an agency that's better, more suited than the SA called the VSSE. And they're basically out there trying to stop terrorism and other World War related activities and stuff like that. Prevent them from happening.
Go on.
Yeah, I said to prevent them from happening if there's going to be like a terrorist attack or World War III style type of matters going on. So the VSSE has been around for many decades prior to the first Time Crisis, as far as the lore of it, the story of the matter. So that's about Time Crisis, because you feel like you're this one man army type of guy, like Richard Miller would say. Not say personally, but he will say, people on the promo or the intro will say, "Do we gotta go for the one man army, Richard Miller?" And then you'll see Sergei Gavada and Wild Dog, and this is all from the first Time Crisis. So it's like, it makes you want to keep playing it and see what's going on with the story. It's pretty cool, very interactive.
Okay, because I think I for some reason, was Time Crisis 4 on PlayStation or PlayStation 2?
Time Crisis 4 is on PlayStation 3.
Okay, so then I didn't have Time Crisis 4. I could have sworn I had one of those Time Crisis games. I just don't remember which one it was.
It's gotta be Time Crisis 3 or 2 then.
But I think it was the original PlayStation, not PlayStation 2. Okay. The games that I have that have a sentimental value to me is the 4 Nintendo cartridges I still have: Jeopardy, Kung Fu, Marble Madness, and Double Dragon. Jeopardy, Junior Edition, Kung Fu, Marble Madness. Those three are the only 3 games I have left that I grew up with. Double Dragon, the first one I got as a gift from my younger brother a couple of years ago. And the good thing is, none of these games are really that high in value. So the reward I would get for selling those games really wouldn't be a game-changing amount of money. It's not like I have a Flintstones at Dinosaur Peak or a Little Samson game that would bring in hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
All these games, not only, the good thing is they don't go for much. So holding on to these, so I'm going to be holding on to those 4 games until probably the day I die. Because, those 3 cartridges, those are 3 of the ones I had growing up.
Yeah.
All my game consoles also, well, except for the Sega Genesis, no. The Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, and Dreamcast are also the ones I grew up with. Nintendo's new, GameCube's I never had as a kid. Everything else is never had Xbox as a kid, so, and the PlayStation 2 is not even my first one. So I think those consoles, the Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, and Dreamcast, are also sentimental.
Okay.
Because they're the ones I was playing on when I was, when in the 90s. So
Yeah. Even I never heard of these. I think what were those games called again? I'm sorry.
Double Dragon.
Double Dragon. I think I played Double Dragon before in arcade. And the other one?
Jeopardy Junior Edition.
Yeah, I'm not gonna miss that.
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu, yeah.
Which was Kung Fu Master in the arcades. And then Marble Madness.
Speaking of the word Kung Fu, did you know there's going to be a TV show on CW11 called Kung Fu?
Really?
Yeah, it's coming out.
The show?
Yeah, it's coming out next month, most likely.
I gotta look that up.
Yeah, Kung Fu CW11 TV show.
I haven't watched CW since like November of 2020.
I never really watched CW,
Fu.
so.
It already premiered.
Really? I thought it was next month it's going to start.
No, it premiered on April 7th.
That's so weird. I could have just wanted to say sometime right now or sometime like around early June. Maybe it's on Netflix it's going to be premiering on.
Yeah, I just really haven't. I haven't really watched CW since I tried to give the new Walker a chance. Walker, Texas Ranger.
Mm-hmm. With Chuck Norris, right?
Huh?
With Chuck Norris, right?
No, the new one. They remade it with Jared Padalecki playing.
That reboot that you mentioned.
Walker.
That reboot you mentioned. Okay.
And it's just so boring. I watched it for like 30 minutes, and I'm like, I can't get through a full episode.
Was there any fighting scenes?
No, there's in the first 3 or 4 episodes, there were like 2 fighting scenes.
That's it?
Yes.
And
one of them, he was fighting his brother. So it was kind of like watching 2 little kids roughhouse. And the other one was like maybe 1 punch.
All right.
So it's like, and I'm just thinking, my younger brother and I, we laughed at if you want, I can pull up the scenes on YouTube. That's how we watched the fight scenes, and it's just like, and I'm like, okay, Jared Padalecki went from a TV show called Supernatural that I watched every week that had great fighting choreography. The fight scenes were fun when Sam and Dean were getting thrown around the room against whatever being they were facing. This looks like a little kid choreographed it. The new Walker, and I mean, if you watch the original Walker and you like Chuck Norris beating up bad guys, you're not going to see that in this one.
Right.
And so it's like, what's the point? Do you want me to pull up the scenes from YouTube if I can find them?
No, it's okay. I'll watch them some other time.
Okay. All right. Did you hear that there'll be a new Donkey Kong game coming out, but it's not going to be a Donkey Kong Country game, but it might be a 2.5, 3, or 3D exploration. Did you play Donkey Kong 64 on Nintendo 64?
Oh man, I don't remember. I don't recall. I played Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo when I was 6 years old for the first time.
I was gonna ask that next. Yeah, I played that one. I even have it on my Wii U. But it's gonna be like Donkey Kong 64. The only problem with that is I had no idea where to go in Donkey Kong 64. Donkey Kong Country, at least even though it was side-scrolling, it's still fun. But the new Donkey Kong game, okay, if they want to get away from Donkey Kong Country because we've had 5 country games since the 90s come out, that's fine, but I just hope it's not something like Donkey Kong 64, where there's no clear indication of where to go.
Really?
Yeah, I played 64, and it was just it's not something I would recommend. I mean, I played every Donkey Kong Country game at least once, and that was a pleasurable experience. But Donkey Kong 64, on the other hand, I tried my best to figure out where to go, and I just couldn't figure it out.
Well, back in the 90s into the 2000s, there was no clear indication really on where else to go in the game because it's usually linear, these campaigns or these offline single player campaigns, you know? And by the late 2000s, we're starting to see that they try to help hold the gamer's hand now. It's to tell them, oh, go here, go there. Here's this indicator, go there. You know? It's like Halo
Yeah.
3.
Halo 3, I didn't find that confusing.
Oh no, what I'm trying to say is that it's still linear, the campaign, so it's not so you know where you're going. But the problem with after a while now finding out where you're going, they'll show the indicator. So basically, that's what they do in Halo 3 sometimes. You know, if you get lost, that can happen to some
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, other games that do that too, like BioShock. I think BioShock Infinite, you just have to press the left stick if you get lost, and it'll show you which way to go.
Bioshock Infinite does the same thing too. You press the select button or one of the buttons, and it shows like an arrow to go to and
Yep.
whatnot. So.
Yeah, but Donkey Kong 64, I played this, last time I played this was in 2013, and it's just confusing.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm fine if they want to get away from Donkey Kong Country, because we've had one through 3, then we had Donkey Kong Country Returns, then Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I would prefer another Donkey Kong Country game just because I like them, but I just hope it's not a game that we're easily going to get lost if they go a different route.
Well, they're trying to appeal to the newer generation of gamers, trying to get more money in. So rather than focusing on the older generation of gamers like you and I are, since we played it for how many decades, we might have problems buying it for COVID-19. But the kids, I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to try to milk more money out of a bigger fan base. So
Right.
it sucks. It really does, because if they really are to maintain the storyline of Donkey Kong, do your best trying to do so. But right now, at this rate, what you said to me beforehand, like before the podcast, it seemed kind of weird for them to start veering off the concepts of the Donkey Kong game.
Yeah. I mean, other than Nintendo mascots have done that. Mario's veered off into every conceivable avenue that you can think of, whether it made sense or not.
Oh, yeah.
But Donkey Kong hasn't really been outside of Donkey Kong Country. He really hasn't been used like that, and I'm all for it, but it's got to be a game that's not gonna frustrate you in the very beginning.
Definitely.
So that's all I hope for. Next, we talked a little bit about this on Facebook. Zombies Ate My Neighbors and Wolf Troll coming out as a compilation game.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what. Now, you said there was a movie based on Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
No, there's a movie supposed to be created after the games from the 1990s. They're supposed to make it back in the late 2000s, early 2010s, but the script wasn't really finalized. Either that, or they're still looking for people to make the script. So it's basically a limbo. Like, we don't know who's doing what, who's making the script, who's going to start the movie, because based on Wikipedia source, that's what they explain at the end of the article. So it's kind of weird that, like, after all these years, we still haven't heard anything from these writers of Zombies Ate My Neighbors game movie / game promo, whatever you want to call it. So,
Right. So, but I mean, honestly, this is something that I would love to play on the Switch if I had one. The only problem I have with Zombies Ate My Neighbors is the password system.
Oh yeah. Well, that's worth it. Keep the password system because you have to memorize it.
Oh wow, it's $50. Okay.
I have to memorize. I have to memorize it.
Well, no. The good thing about the password system, it was only 4 letters. Oh, that's more expensive. I'm just looking up prices for Super Nintendo games.
I already got my copy of Zombies Ate My Neighbors, so I'm good.
Lucky you.
Yeah, I got it for $10 at the GameStop in Valley Stream. Remember that GameStop in Valley Stream, Triple J?
Which one? There were 3 of them.
Oh, the one over by the high school, over by Merrick Boulevard and over by the high school, Fletcher Avenue.
The one near King Cullen?
Yep, and Burger King.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, also I met Clifford, one of our classmates. He's a part of our classmates. He helped me get the game, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me explain my problem with Zombies Ate My Neighbors, the original.
Okay.
My problem is that if you use the password to get to, say, level 12, you started out on level 12 with just the bare essentials.
That's what it's like with any time.
Huh?
That's like that with any other level with the code.
Yeah, exactly. That was my problem with the game. Because to start in the beginning of the game, that was okay with the bare essentials, but you had to stockpile on these new weapons, like when they started introducing mummies, and you had to get aunts because one aunt would kill a mummy.
Yeah, the Holy Grail, Holy Cross weapon, like the Hallelujah. And there's also another one, another Holy Grail attack. It's like it's a special version. You had to press the X button for it, and it says like.
Well, the problem is, so say you use the password and you get to, let's say you use the last password, which starts you out a few levels from the end. It's basically a suicide mission if you just got the bare essentials with you.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
But on the other hand, if the password did save all your weapons, they would be huge.
But then it won't be challenging after a while. You just basically it's like that with San Andreas or the GTA game, for example, back in the day when you save every mission and you try to save your weapons and such, rather than dying every time and losing all your progress of weaponry and supplies. So it's kind of like that. They try to prevent that from happening in Zombie Ate My Neighbors game, and they did a good job of doing so. Because when I reached level 45, the last 5 levels of Zombies Ate My Neighbors, it's about 50 levels, I was having a hard time trying to collect bazookas by the...
Right, because you're supposed to collect them in the more previous levels.
Yes, but without having like 25 bazooka shots, I can't go through the entire maze. I'll be stuck forever.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is... the Happy Video Game Nerd actually brought this up before I ever tried out Zombies Ate My Neighbors. He said that you needed all the different weapons you would collect throughout the game to have a chance to get through the entire game, and the password system didn't save your weapons. Mm-hmm. I played the game on emulator, so I could just create a save file when I stopped playing, and I could pick up right where I left off.
Cheater.
And that helped. So I'm just hoping that, like in this compilation game, that they allow something like that where you can save your progress, save your game, and pick it up, even if it's in designated save spots, where you can pick up right where you left off, and you don't lose all your weapons unless you died or something.
Then there's points to the run and gun game aspect of running Zombies Ate My Neighbors. You're ruining the experience.
How are you ruining the experience?
Because you keep accumulating not the same, but different weaponry and supplies that you kept saving on top of it, where the concept of the Zombies Ate My Neighbors games was to survive, gather resources, and rescue neighbors. But what you're doing and what you want to do with these new versions of the game is to make it easier for the newer gamers. I don't want that because we had to memorize the passwords LHRR for level 5 and fucking whatever for level 12, etc., etc. I still remember that one for level 5.
But the thing is, the reason I bring this up is the passwords would still be huge if they saved everything you had in your inventory if that was built into the password. If the password is, but again, no one really uses passwords anymore anyway.
I know, but that's back then.
Everybody saves games on their memory cards or on their hard drive. So I really don't know if that's even going to be an issue. At least maybe we'll be able to pick up where we left off with the weapons we've already accumulated. Anyway. Because in your point, to debunk your point in like San Andreas, yeah, okay, if you died or if you got arrested, you lost all your weapons unless you were in a relationship with a specific woman. But, in San Andreas, you could always buy that handgun back. You could buy that shotgun. You could buy another assault rifle. You could buy another rocket launcher.
Yeah, but it was harder. It was harder every time.
There were only a few levels where these weapons were available, and once you pass those levels, it's not like you could go back.
Well, that's in Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I know I compared apples to oranges, but it's still the concept is still there with the fruit, because it's still sweet, it's still mellow, it's still citric-y, even though apples are not citric per se, but you know what I mean. Basically, I'm trying to say, my point is that, the original concept of Zombies Ate My Neighbors was to memorize your passwords if you want to gain levels. And if you do that, the trade-off is that you're not going to take all your weapons with you. That's the thing, though. If you die, you die, and you want to start over.
If you die, you die. But the thing is, like someone like me, if say I had Zombies Ate My Neighbors for Super Nintendo with me, I would just start the game new every time then.
Of course, you have no choice in the matter because you don't memorize all the passwords from the past.
Not even memorizing the password. I would just start the game new so I could build up my inventory every time.
Yeah, but the stages get harder, James.
The game then because
the stages get harder.
It would take so long.
The stages gets harder, James. You know that, right?
What?
I said the stages in Zombies Ate My Neighbors get harder. So good luck trying to save a life.
Yeah, that's I know they got harder. I did play like the first 7-8 levels. But I'm just saying, that's the whole reason you want to be able to collect your weapons, because every monster in that game had their own weakness.
Right.
Sure, and you could kill everything with the water gun, but if an enemy took 10 shots with the water gun, you might want to find something else that only took 1 shot.
Right.
Anyway, I looked up the prices while we were talking about this. Zombies Ate My Neighbors currently goes for about $50 on Super Nintendo. Ghoul Patrol, which was the sequel, currently goes for over $200.
That's a little too much. The first Zombies Ate My Neighbors was supposed to be the most prized possession. Ghoul Patrol was a bit like a ripoff of Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Well, they're going to be, Ghoul Patrol came out later, and
I know that.
They're going to be packaged together on the Switch.
Okay. How much will it sell on Nintendo?
Huh?
How much will they sell the Switch version?
Probably $60 to $70.
Why so much?
Well, that's the price new games come out anyway.
No, but there are some games like Halo Master Chief Collection, rather than $60 to $5, it's like $40.
Yes, but did Halo Master Chief Collection was that the price when it first released?
Yeah, $40.
Okay, well, I'm guessing it's probably going to be because most games are going to be priced that much when they come out anyway. we're going to talk about another game later, and I'm just guessing since it's a new release, that's what most new releases go for. That's
Okay.
most new releases.
All right.
It might be cheaper on digital, but like even Mass Effect Legendary Edition for Xbox One, that's 3 games in one with all the DLC included, and that's selling for $60.
Mm-hmm.
And that came out last week.
All right.
Or actually 2 weeks. Well, actually 2 weeks ago. Okay, next. And to talk about the Switch, they have something called Game Builder Garage coming out.
What's that game?
Game Builder Garage coming out for the Switch. Basically, it's a program that lets you program your own games that you can then play on the Switch.
Really?
Yeah. We have things that we can create our own games now, like RPG Maker. Most people started out with that, and then when Super Mario Maker came out, the whole game was creating the most challenging levels that you could to share with people over the internet.
Yes.
But Game Maker, it's gonna have a tutorial, and it's gonna be a program where we can create these games ourselves and then share them on the Switch. Is that something you would spend time playing with or no?
Nah, I'm not a builder. I'm more of a player.
Yeah, I would probably play it once just to see what it's like, but it's not something I would go back to either.
Yeah.
But I mean, for anything that anything that gives that power to people, obviously you can't sell these games. They would probably be available free.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be interested in seeing what other people would come up with.
Right.
So that's Game Builder Garage. It sounds interesting. That's what I can say. I don't know how many times we can beat the. I don't know how many times we can beat the source, but we're gonna do it again. Marvel's Avengers new skins are put behind a paywall. You can't unlock them through gameplay.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, with a game that failed like Marvel's Avengers, you can't put and now these new outfits that they went through the trouble of releasing, people are gonna have to pay for them.
And there's no other way to unlock them by gameplay? No way?
Nope, you can't unlock them through gameplay. You have to buy them if you want these new skins.
Hell, you might as well pay not to play your game then. Like just spend like $100 and then not to play your game is played for you. Like I'm hearing.
And keep in mind, a lot of people are having trouble on the Avengers because the player base is so depleted because of what a piss poor game, the piss poor shape this game was released in.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're basically saying, you want these new skins that you heard about? You got to pay us.
Oh yeah.
We're going through these subjects as faster than I thought. We only got a few more left. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty shitty with Marvel's Avengers.
I remember back in the day. If you want to unlock certain things in certain games like Time Crisis, Crash Bandicoot, especially Crash Bandicoot, because back during Crash Bandicoot 3 when I played that game, you didn't know you had to unlock a sixth world after being Dr. Cortex for the first time. Because once you beat Dr. Cortex for the first time, they send you right back to the warp room. And in the warp room, if you complete more than one relic or two, after that with certain parts of the other worlds, you unlock a sixth world. So there was no instructions, no strategy guide. Well, there was a strategy guide book most likely, but not that many people were buying the strategy guide books. So How would you know that
Right.
until you keep beating the game? So what they're trying to do with Marvel is that saying that, oh, you want to play the sixth world? Why not just fucking pay $10 for it, and complete everything for $5? It's kind of stupid. It's like, what's the point?
Right. Yeah, not to mention, I mean, you built up so much bad will from the time this game released. You would be doing anything you should. I mean, they had to fix the bugs in the game, which pushed back content that was promised to come out afterwards anyway. So now these new skins, now you're saying, okay, now you gotta pay for this, and it's just like, and in a game that has lost so many people playing it in such a short time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at what point, how much do you spend before the game becomes useless and it just becomes a money hole?
They're trying to milk as much as possible for the fan base before they leave altogether.
I guess so.
Because it's only like 1,000 people playing Marvel's Avengers. Not even.
Last I checked, it was something like 1,200. Yeah.
Yeah. So that 1,000 people times that by $10, $5 for the paywall. They're only make a few $1,000s for out of that matter. And then before it gets shut down altogether, they made about $50,000 altogether from just losses.
Yeah. When I don't know about since DLC, but I know before DLC started being released, I think Square Enix lost like $63 million on the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how much of that they made back through DLC, but it's obviously nowhere near what they lost.
And if they really lost $60 million in the sales, someone messed up the marketing as well as the proper creation of the game itself, and blame those two leaders in charge of those departments of the matter, because you can't just get away with the matter that you're just gonna build something up and then you sell it and it's like it's just an unfinished or incomplete product,
Right. So, yeah. So Marvel's Avengers. I mean, it's just another bad decision as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But let's continue this train of bad decisions. The Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword, which came out in 2011, is going to be released on the Switch. It's going to be like The Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword HD. They're incorporating a fast travel mechanic that will require a $25 amiibo.
Wow.
Now, fast travel was not in the original game. If
Obviously.
you wanted to be on the ground or or on the platforms in the sky, you had to find a statue in the game that would teleport you there. This statue would let you teleport from anywhere. This amiibo will let you teleport from anywhere, so you didn't have to go out of your way just to find a statue. But they're saying the only way to use this fast travel is spending $25 more by buying an amiibo. Now, there's microtransactions, but $25 is not a microtransaction.
Yeah, that's like a fucking DLC. Not even. It's an expansion.
DLC sometimes
It's an expansion
doesn't cost that
pack. It's an expansion pack.
Yeah, I mean, and the only thing it'll provide is allowing you to fast travel from anywhere.
Oh yeah.
Okay, fast travel wasn't in the original game, but at the same time, amiibos really haven't been used on the Switch. Amiibos were a big thing for the Wii U. I even purchased and sold some amiibos myself. But ever since the Switch came out, they kind of moved away from what the Wii U was doing, and now they're putting this feature behind an amiibo.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just and the thing is, the announcement that talked about the amiibo is getting it's gotten much more downvotes than upvotes. People on Twitter were talking about it, saying, "Wait a minute, this is going to be a $60 game, and then we gotta pay $25 extra for an amiibo.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, when the Wii U came out with amiibos, I thought, okay, this is cool because they're like little figurines, and they did unlock special parts of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, okay, that's pretty cool. But the thing is, you've been away from amiibo since the Switch came out.
Uh-huh.
Now you want to go back to it because that's the only way to get $25 for a feature. I just don't agree with that, and many people aren't happy with how Nintendo's handling it. Ubisoft is focusing on free-to-play games for all franchises.
Now that's interesting.
I can't name any Ubisoft franchises off the top of my head, so
there's Child of Light that was free games with gold back in 2014.
Alright, I got a list of the 10 best franchises for Ubisoft ranked by Metacritic. I'll go through them. CSI?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I played this game.
They must have bought the rights to it, most likely, I bet.
I played this game on 360. They did have a CSI game based on the one based on a television show in Las Vegas. I thought that was. I didn't know that was Ubisoft.
You gotta check the game box to see if it says Ubisoft at the bottom.
Well, I don't have the game anymore, so.
That sucks.
The next one is Rocky.
Rayman.
Yeah, well, Rayman's further down. I'll continue the list. Ghost Recon, Rainbow Six, Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, Brothers in Arms, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie. Great with her.
Splinter Cell, and as you said, Rayman. Okay, so I mean that would be cool. I would love more. I would love more Splinter Cell games. I'm a big fan of the Tom Clancy games as of late, because I like the Division. I played.
You like the Division?
Yes.
So why are you still level 12, 16 then?
Because I'm at level 16. That's what. Why? What should I?
After 6 years? After 6 years of it coming out, you never pass level 25, 30? No.
I didn't have the game for 6 years. When did the Division come out for?
It came out back in. It came out back at it came out released in 2016. It came out games with gold back last year or two, and I got the game with the Xbox Elite system back in 2016, 2017, give or take.
I didn't have the game until it came out here, until it came out on Games with Gold. Let's see, Division. Okay, it came out September of 2020.
The first Division came out back in 2016.
Yes. No. The first one came out, I think, 2014.
Not that early.
Okay, so it was 2016. But I didn't get the Division until 2020. When it was a game with gold. So I haven't even had the Division for a full year. I know you don't like the Division. You there?
Oh, I'm sorry, what was the question?
I said I haven't had. I only got the Division back last September, but I know you don't like the Division after last night.
Yes, because of the co-op system. It looked good at first what they did, But then, like, when you spawn different points, then it's like, that's kind of stupid because we have to spawn in the same spot in order to stay as a team. So I kept asking every time, where do we spawn? So that way, we wouldn't spawn different spots.
Well, that was kind of my fault because I also ran ahead. I just assumed you were behind me. But I think another problem was just that since there's such a difference of us in levels, 16 and 5 is a big gap.
Yes.
If you were closer to my level, I think we would have had a much better experience because we were facing level 11 enemies, and that must have been a big enough challenge just for you.
Yes, one shot kills and I'm dead. But
yeah,
two clips of ammo.
If you're gonna play the Division co-op, it needs to be someone that's near your level.
Or play by myself all the time and work my levels, work my way up to the higher levels by myself, and then team up with the better players, like you, for example.
Well, I mean, like I said, you can set up auto match for someone to join your game and join the mission that you're on, or you could join someone else playing the mission that you are.
Yeah, but the population dwindled over the last 2 or 3 years because it's down to not even 10,000. Like at least 5,000 players still play the division as of 2 years ago. Yeah.
I never had trouble. The only time I had trouble finding someone to team up with me in the division is if I played the game at 2 a.m.
Right.
Yeah, if I'm playing it early in the morning or late at night before I go to bed, that's okay. So yeah, you're pretty right. The division, well, that's on Steam, just because I'm not playing the game on Steam. How many players are playing the division? Okay, it definitely has fallen off. I just don't know if these are Steam numbers.
Yeah, it was they released 50,000 players back in the first year of its release, and now as of 2 years ago, it was down to 10,000. So by now it should be down to 5,000 because of Division 2.
Well, I'll tell you what I found. It's some people. These are Steam charts. So I'm thinking this is just people on Steam. But they said for the last 30 days, the most people that's been playing the game is 966.
That's it?
But I don't know. I don't think that's including the people who play on console.
I was about to say.
Because, like I said, it's a Steam chart. I don't play games on Steam because I don't play games on computer. The Division Live player count. Let's see if this has it. Oh, okay. They said currently, the Division has 703 players online.
For what system?
All across all consoles.
Wow. So I was wrong that there's going to be 5,000 right now. Dude, that's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy right there because there was 50,000 the first year. Then all of a sudden went down to 10,000 and not even a year, not even 2 years. Then by the third, and then as of when the games went gold, it went up a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah, because more people were playing it, like me.
And it's for free, so at the time.
Right. But anyway, I think, the good thing about playing the Division online with other people is you don't have to communicate with them. It's just everyone has the same idea. Kill the enemies and try to stay alive. And if your partner falls, try to revive them without sacrificing yourself. So, I mean, all I can say is the last time I played the Division, when I was playing it 8, 9 p.m., I had no problem finding help. Then I played it again not too long ago, within the last month, and there were a bunch of people playing the mission I was on. So I don't, you know, while the number of players sounds scarce, it hasn't affected me personally.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so could you imagine a free to play Tom Clancy game?
Yeah, fucking Splinter Cell or Ghost
Yes,
Recon.
Splinter Cell. I think it was Blacklist or
Definitely.
what I played a Splinter Cell game not too long ago, that I beat. I forget. Yeah, Blacklist. No. I think it was Conviction. Splinter Cell Conviction. That's the one I played. Yeah, Conviction. I played Splinter Cell Conviction. I loved it. And if we free to play games with like Rayman and I don't know what how do you feel, have you tried the Far Cry series?
I had Far Cry 2 as part of my games with Gold at one point. Problem
Right.
though is that I never played any of the Far Cry games, and it looks good. Some of the Far Cry games of the gameplay of Far Cry 2, but other than Far Cry 3, 4, and 5, I'm not sure about them. So
I played Far Cry 3. Again, the problem was just that I had with Far Cry 3 was where do I go? My younger brother said Far Cry 4, I think, sucked. I don't know about Far Cry 5.
yeah, I heard that is good. Far Cry 5.
You heard it's good?
Yeah, we thought that they're gonna make fun of backwater Montana conservative Republican hillbillies, but no, they're not. It's not like what you're thinking of.
Okay, my brother just didn't like Far Cry, and he didn't like Assassin's Creed Unity, but I liked Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Assassin's Creed Origins, even Assassin's Creed Rogue.
Oh yeah, Syndicate. Not Syndicate. Assassin's Creed Unity. At first, it
Yeah.
was good. Like the first hour or two when you keep playing it was good. But then once until you get out of the prison cell, it's like what to do now. It's like what's the point? Like there was things to do. Yes, don't get me wrong, but it's like the pacing of it was just it just flew off after the prison mission. Because you're in jail for a while for some sort of crime you commit. And it's like some sort of like way to get out, and explosions everywhere with cannons, and it was pretty cool. But then all of a sudden it's like, okay, you're out of prison, you're out of harm's way, and what to do now exactly other than other things? It just doesn't make any sense.
Right. So like Assassin's Creed Syndicate was good. I like the brother sister team that you played as. Origins, from what I played, I liked because I played it free for one weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So like free to play games of Assassin's Creed and Tom Clancy would be great. I just don't know. Do you think these games would still be good, or like would still be good if they were free to play?
Yeah, it will increase the population playlists of sorts. Depends on which game you're talking about. If it's like Child of Light, you get more offline co-op or online co-op. Depends on what's the service about. Because I never saw Child of Light with an online co-op service. So hopefully they'll spruce that up, improve the system a bit, and then turn it into an online co-op. That'll be great. But other than that, games like Splinter Cell, oh yeah, you'll get people playing that, especially us older gamers, because we've seen, like, some of us wanted to play Splinter Cell back in the 1990s, the late 1990s, early 2000s, but we couldn't afford it because we're stuck with Time Crisis, Mario, fucking NBA game maybe, depends on where you get the games from your friends. So we were poor.
I don't know about NBA. To me, the NBA craze more after NBA Jam.
Oh yeah, the NBA, the yearly NBA games were good back in the 90s, but after the 2015, with all the microtransactions and such, it just went downhill.
Yeah. So I mean, I never actually had a Splinter Cell game. Before that, there was Rainbow Six, which I always wanted to try out, but I never actually got to. I should actually look up the price on that, see what that goes for.
I wish Ubisoft could finish making that game Rainbow Six Patriots, but it turned out to be Rainbow Six Siege months later. So it was
No, I'm talking about the original. I'm talking about the original Rainbow Six for N64.
No, but I was adding on to the fact. I was adding on to the fact that I wanted to play the Rainbow Six Patriots concept because what happened in Rainbow Six Patriots is that this happened after the 2008 crisis of the economic crisis in New York City and throughout the world. Some group of patriots or rogue terrorists tried to bomb a banker, and they did. It started some sort of international incident or some sort of regional conflict within the city. And I'm making assumptions or an analyst of the matter, but that's what I wanted to do in playing that game because that's what it's about. I still have the video trailer on my YouTube channel, so check it out, guys. It's called Rainbow Six Patriots 2011 trailer.
Okay, I just looked up on price charting. The original N64 Rainbow Six is going for like $12 loose, so it's not terribly expensive. But like what I heard about Rainbow Six is like you're in this giant hotel and like there are hostages and you have to find them somewhere. So like you have to sneak from room to room to rescue these hostages. You just have no idea where they are. That sounds kind of interesting. I might buy this. I might buy this game for $12 if I can find it for that much. Sometimes the price charting says a game's going for $20, and then you find people selling it for $40.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So I think if Ubisoft is making free games of these free-to-play games of these franchises, I would definitely be interested in trying them out. Even if it's free-to-play, that would make me want to play, like... Do you think they would make another Rocky game?
Rocky game?
Yeah, a game based off Rocky.
Wait, there was a Rocky game?
There were two Rocky games.
I don't remember this shit.
Yeah, there was Rocky, and then there was Rocky Legends.
I never heard of Rocky Legends before until now.
And I had the first Rocky game for PlayStation 2.
Oh, the PS2. I must have missed that a long while back. I don't remember any of these Rocky games because Rocky came out back during the late 1980s, or mid to late 1980s. And by Rocky 5 or Rocky 6, what?
Actually, if you're talking about the very first Rocky, I'm pretty sure that came out in the 70s.
Okay, 1970s. Excuse me. Sorry about that. It came out back in the 1970s, late 1970s. And, you know, by Rocky 5, that's when they had the 1992-91 movie of Rocky 5. And then Rocky 6 was the 2005, 2006 movie, you know? Then they had Creed.
Yeah, Rocky 5 was, let's see. I'm pulling. I can't find that. Let's see. Let's go to Wikipedia. Wikipedia is your friend.
It's always our friend.
Yeah, Rocky 5 came out in 1990. Wow.
Yep. We have all 5 Rocky tapes back in the day, back in those days. I don't know where they are now, but, you know, we still have them somewhere in our living room. And they're a very good collector's set to sell. Right now, I don't know who's going to buy them for a few $1,000s or a few $100s even, but it's worth it later on in the future because think about this. Rocky 2 was never broadcasted on TV. Never.
Yes, it was.
It was never broadcasted in my neighborhood, in my city. When you know how there's Channel 11.
Maybe not back then, but like now I see marathons of all the Rocky movies.
Okay, maybe. Oh, excuse me, not right this second, but like back 30 years ago, 25 years ago, when there was those movie specials every Saturday to Sunday. You know what they do on Channel 11, Channel 7, Channel 2, and 4. They don't show Rocky 2 at all. They show Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5. And that's it. Why not Rocky 2? What's that about?
I don't know. That must be just your network or something. Because I mean, last Sunday I watched Creed 2, which is the newest movie in the Rocky franchise.
Yeah, Rocky fucking 8.
Yeah.
How many more Rocky was gonna make? God damn. Like, I mean, enough already. He's dying. Sylvester Stallone is dying now. Fuck, leave him be. I mean, he's still healthy. He's still in healthy shape, but he's dying gradually.
Well, I mean, I don't think they're gonna have I don't think they're gonna have a Creed 3 or a Rocky 9 in any way, because I don't know where they would go with the story. Creed.
Yeah, most of the Rocky
Creed that came out a few years ago was just someone who was adopted by Apollo's wife long after Apollo died, and he started to get into boxing. And he tracked down Rocky, who was running his restaurant, and then Rocky took him under his wing when Creed showed promise. Creed 2 was the son of Apollo Creed versus the son of Ivan Drago. Now, where are they going to go with Creed 3?
Or Rocky 8.
Yeah, so,
I can see Stallone jogging.
If they did make a Creed 3 or a Rocky 9, where would they go with it?
You might see Sylvester Stallone jogging for the first time in like 20 years.
But I'm saying, what would be the story? You know?
It'd be like, about the fucking Russian guy coming back from the dead. Not from the dead, but,
They already did that.
What do you mean?
Creed 2.
The Russian guy came back?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
The Russian came back, and his son took on Adonis Creed.
Holy shit! Oh wow, that's nice.
And it was the son of Apollo Creed versus the son of Ivan Drago.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, now that they did that, where else could they go with it? There's nowhere else to go.
Yeah, they had to put it into a package together, all Rocky game movies, and sell it for like $100, $250 or some shit. I want to buy it. Put it on DVDs. Blu-ray, maybe.
Yeah, put it on DVDs, put it on Blu-rays.
Yeah, but call it the Rocky Collection, 1 through 8.
Well, I don't know if they could do that, because the last two movies don't even have Rocky's name in the title.
And also must be a copyright issue too, with whoever owns the Rocky titles.
I think Sylvester Stallone owns the movies. I think because his company did it.
Oh, so they can do that. So they can collect.
They started it.
So they can make a collection DVD then of all 8 movies.
They could for some kind of promotion, yeah.
And if they do call it Rocky 9, you're right, they can't do it because most of the staff, most of the cast members from Rocky 1, were the first Rocky 3 game movies, they all died, or they're sick, or they're literally like old as fuck, and they can't do much,
I don't think they're dead. I think they just because they died in the movie doesn't mean they died in real life. It just means that they didn't want to come back.
No, well, there's a mixture of that, and also the cast themselves are dead. Like all of them are either dead or they're very old and live in nursing homes.
Well, I don't think Sylvester Stallone's living in a nursing home, but
well, of course not. But the fucking old guy, the one that trained Rocky in Rocky 1, 2, and 3.
Mickey, yeah.
Yeah, Mickey. Like he actually was an old motherfucker when Rocky 5 came out. So imagine.
He's let me pull him up, see if Burgess Meredith, his real name. Yeah, he passed away in '97.
Yeah, I was saying like in '91 when Rocky 5 came out, he was way too old to be part of the full cast of Rocky 5. And if he could, he would be more of a ghost or more of a flashback at best. So.
Well, in Rocky 5, he was a flashback.
Yeah, definitely. He was like, "Come on, Rocky, you can do it." And then you see Rocky all bloody up, blood all dripping all over his body and face. And he's like, "Come on, you can do it." And then Mickey's face was zoomed up to the camera, Like, you can do it, Rocky. Rocky, come on. Some shit like that.
Okay, now I think you're confusing it with South Park. If you want, I have the Rocky 5 Mickey speech flashback pulled up.
You can send it to me in the Facebook message. I'll look at it later.
All right, I'll send it to you over Discord.
That too.
That's
even better.
You might hear a few seconds of it. Okay, so
come on, Rocky, you can do it. Wait, we went from like talking about Ubisoft to now talking about Rocky. What the hell? Where is this conversation going to?
We started talking about Rocky because that's one of the franchises Ubisoft made a video game after.
Oh, right. Okay, that's about to say.
Ubisoft, free-to-play games.
Yes, free-to-play games of Rocky. That'd be great. Hey, that'll help me understand it better why they brought Rocky as a video game, you know?
I don't know, but like after Rocky was a success as far as I know, but Rocky Legends was just bad.
Well, sequels can tend to be the worse than the first one, so.
Well, yeah, it was more button mash. From what I heard, I've never played the second one. Rocky Legends was more button mashing, but the appeal behind the second game was you got to see how Apollo Creed, Clubber Lang, and Ivan Drago started their careers.
Oh, yes.
In the story mode.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so that was Ubisoft focusing on free-to-play games for all franchises. Amazon, we talked about how they canceled 5 of their 6 games not too long ago. Mm-hmm. Amazon, their new game that is still alive is called New World. And they will have pay-to-win microtransactions, and they're trying to hide it as letting people pay if they don't have enough time to play the game. They wouldn't say pay-to-win microtransactions, but they said there'll be another way for people to experience the game if they don't have the time to dedicate it to it that other people will. Basically, it'd be a pay-to-win system.
Or pay-to-play.
No, it's free to play, but like you could level up faster if you're willing to pay.
Well, it's more like pay to win, or not pay to win. What I'm trying to say is that pay to play. One is to pay the CPU, the computer of the game, to play the game for you. I'm hearing that right now, for quite some time now. That concept.
Yeah, but I mean, it's almost like, why would Amazon do this if they knew they couldn't come out and say what it really was, truthfully? You know, if you know you're gonna have to use mental gymnastics and deceptive language and not be clear about what you're offering, why include it to begin with?
Because the general public will eat it up no matter what.
The general public was eating Amazon alive, from what I heard.
Hey, they're still making money, Amazon.
When Amazon made this announcement, there was, like, on Twitter, there was no one supporting it. Everyone was against it. So, yeah, another game that's going to have pay-to-win microtransactions. And like I said, since I have no problems with DLC, I have no problem with transactions if they're cosmetic. But I'm definitely not going to participate in a game with pay-to-win microtransactions.
Yeah.
So, you know, New World, I don't know what it is. You know, I don't know what the concept of the game is or anything. But when you put in pay-to-win microtransactions, that just shuts the door for me.
Oh yeah.
And the last topic we have, this went a lot faster than I thought it would. The new PlayStation 5 controller has 2 colors coming: Midnight Black and Cosmic Red. Speaking of the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One, do you have any color controllers besides white and black?
For the 360, at one point I owned a Halo 3 edition Spartan with a warthog type of design on the controller. I still got that for about 60, 70 bucks.
What color was that?
It was a mixture of blue, green. It was actual design of actual Master Chief on in a warthog shooting and stuff. It was pretty cool. I got it through either Amazon or eBay.
Okay. I don't have any controllers like that for my Xbox 360 or Xbox One. I do have a color that's a golden. I do have a PlayStation 3 golden controller that I got at Roosevelt Field Mall for like $50 back in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And that controller is still the one I choose to play with when I play PS3 games. Because I also have a standard black one.
Right.
But I'm saying, do you really care about the color of controllers, or is it just something you don't care about?
I like to match it with the console to the best of my ability. Like if they messed up the way but you know how most console and controllers are in the same color together. So as long as I have that set with me, I'm fine. But if I want to buy another controller, I make sure I buy this controller with the same color as with my console. So I have a black console and a white console. Well, the white console is the Xbox One S. So I'm going to get the Xbox One S controller for my Xbox One S. So, and I got 2 of them so far.
Okay. I'd just like to have the different color controllers because, like the Nintendo 64, I have almost every color controller that there is.
Mm-hmm.
That at least I can find. I don't know I don't know about the fuchsia colored controller and my black controller broke, but I still got red, blue, green, and gray for my N64. But yeah, I get these controllers. It's just they're usually really expensive now.
Yeah, fucking $60. It used to be $60 or $50 even on Amazon.
Yeah.
Now it's down to $65, $70 sometimes.
For a controller.
Yeah, we're not asking for the Xbox membership. This is fucking controllers. Fucking crazy.
Yeah, like I said, the golden controller for PS3 cost me $50 7 years ago.
Did you sign up? Hey, James, did you sign up for that sweepstakes last month or two for the gold Xbox?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think earlier this year they had a special where if you sign up and do a lot of tasks with your Xbox, like the daily challenges of the Xbox Game Pass and such, you're qualified or entered several times to win an Xbox gold-plated Xbox.
What?
Yeah, especially the Xbox One X, not the Series X, the One X. I could be wrong. It could be from last year.
Well, I think you're right. If this happened last year, because the consoles weren't released till the end of last year.
Yes. It seems too good to be true, but no.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's cool that new color controllers are coming out. It's just a shame that they've become so expensive.
Oh yeah.
That's all the news I have. Are there any stories you know about that you wanna cover?
To my awareness, I'm not sure. I'm hearing rumors here and there about certain things. If you want to talk more about the EVP guy, 445, he was a gamer, right? At one point.
I think he was. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, he's off the hook, and he started his own new channel for the time being.
Really? I heard that he's on Vimeo now.
Something like that. He started something new. And most likely that must be it.
Yeah, Review Tech USA said he's on Vimeo. But the thing is, Vimeo is basically, I think it's another relic like Dailymotion. You have to I think you even have to pay for Vimeo if your videos are too long.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I have an account there, but I
so
barely use it.
yeah, I don't know anyone that. Well, no, I know one person who used it, but he didn't record gaming videos. He recorded live action skits
Movies.
with his friends. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because
Um,
there's this movie made by some fan people, Star Wars fan people call themselves Star Wars The Thread of Destiny or Threads of Destiny. And I heard it was good because of the action and all. The acting looks alright. I saw the first like 5 minutes of it, but I didn't see the full entire movie. So that's like, that's what I want to see myself on Vimeo. Because Vimeo, that's where it is, the full set. So
okay, but Vimeo, you have to pay if you they have a free account option.
it
But I think
should.
Vimeo also makes you pay for like if I'm guessing if your videos.
Last time
I'm
I used
guessing
Vimeo, you didn't have to pay to watch videos or any long length videos.
really even if they were long.
Yeah, like an hour. The Threads of Destiny Star Wars movie was like an hour and 30 minutes long.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, but anyway, with the new websites like BitChute, Odyssey, you know, I just don't know how much. I just don't know if this guy's really. A, his reputation is destroyed,
oh yeah,
and B, I mean, no, his reputation is destroyed, and now he's on a website that not many people talk about. I mean, some people think there's nothing else other than YouTube, which is wrong.
yeah. I don't know
Um,
what's wrong with people. If we're gonna branch off to that, people think YouTube is the head honcho or the only thing in town. Yes, overall it looks like it, but overall not necessarily because like I said, we got like you said, there's Odyssey, there's BitChute. You can't take down every competition that starts up. I think that they're not gonna win or succeed or compete. So
yeah, so Odyssey and yeah, so I mean, but like I said, Vimeo, no one, that comes up about as often as Blip.tv, which is no longer around.
yeah, the Blip TV was good to me. I was able to upload like how many videos for how long, like 2 hours long, 3 hours long, 4 hours long maybe, and by the time they turn it into this entertainment, purely entertainment site, it just ruined the experience, and it's like, what's the point, you know?
Well, what happened is that they, at first, Blip.tv, anyone could upload videos and anyone could be in the ads program to have ads play on their videos.
Of course.
When a new company took over, they said, okay, you have to have at least this many followers, or else you're not even gonna have an account. Um,
Yeah,
so
they deleted my
like,
account once.
it killed a lot of their members, and then they're like, okay, if you want to comment on Blip.tv, you can do it through Facebook. No one
Facebook.
cared after that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they said when a new company took over the reins of Blip.tv, they said you have to have a certain number of members, a certain number of followers or subscribers. If you don't have that number, your account's going to be deleted.
Man.
Meaning you couldn't even comment through your account. If you wanted to, like, I've watched Nostalgia Critic for a long time. He's one guy who kept his account on Blip.tv before it died.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to see a Nostalgia Critic video on Blip.tv, if you wanted to leave a comment, you had to sign in with Facebook, and you could leave a comment that way. And it's like, no one's going to do this. And that website ended up dying because those people who made it only for people who had a certain size fan base killed it. Great job.
It was a good site, Blip TV.
Yeah. There was something else I think called ZipTube, which was basically like a 2008 version of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
That died. Yeah, so I mean, I'm on BitChute. I haven't I do have an account on Odyssey. I gotta see if maybe I should start uploading gaming videos there. But anyway, so I guess this is where we'll end things. It's a pretty short podcast, but, that's all the news we have.
I did my best.
Yeah. So, anyway, this was the Let's Discuss Gaming podcast. Our next podcast will be in 2 weeks on June 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Follow me on Twitch, so you'll be notified when we start new podcast episodes. And I'm also trying to get back to gaming live on Twitch every night. I've been off the last couple of nights, except before Friday. So hope to see you in 2 weeks. Follow my channel and have a good night, everyone.
See you guys later. Bye.